It's the living room, but also our biggest room. Even with so many people here, the room doesn't feel cramped the slightest.
赤い阿蘇神社の文化財指定に。
It doesn't feel that small because 4 people out of the 7 are fucking under 5 foot.
鉱山鉄道の伏線、それに名物駅弁ですか。
Hibiki and Hachiroku sound both dumbfounded and impressed.
この短期間によくもこれほどの案を。ホーレットさんも兄さんも忙しいに決まってるのに。
いや、心配ない。僕はむしろ充実している。
私もです。
The cheerful voice of hers worries me. I had no idea how Paulette's energy level is. But I can confirm that later. I can just confirm that later. Time's valuable for everyone.
今日はその辺のことを相談したく、皆に集まってもらったのだ。
Time clearly is invaluable to me, considering it takes me like 3x the average time to get through a visual novel.
赤い阿蘇神社のことは宮司さんと役所の担当者とで基本あとは進めてもらえると思います。
駅弁については試作、試食を繰り返し、ベストな形を模索していきたく思う。
Hachiroku nods to what I say and stares back at me with a determined look.
でしたらご相談の主眼は鉱山鉄道についてでしょうか。
うん。術戦炭鉱跡の周辺にそうした何かが残っていないか、誰かもしも。
炭鉱の後なら学園の遠足で行ったわい。
ほう。
Nagi's good at these situations. She jumps in and grabs right into the main point of the conversation, keeping the discussion going.
遠くて汚くてたくさん歩いて汚れとったばい。
そんなにか。
When I take apart the factors of what Nagi's saying, it is Jutsen coal mine equals far plus dirty x2 times 2. As if to prove that, Fukami adds in her own view.
みんなの評判は良くなかったです。熊川下りの方がマシって言ってましたです。
マシか。随分と辛辣な評価だな。
でも、それでもちょっとは嬉しかったかな。
Fukami smiles a bit. I honestly don't know what to say to her.
その時、鉄道設備とか線路とか何か残ってたりしたの気づかなかった？もう気づかんかったばい。
That's probably because you weren't paying attention to the railways. Nagi changes the atmosphere instantly. Fukami also joins in.
でも、その頃私たち、鉄道とか興味ゼロでしたから。
What did I just say?
うん。響はどうだ？学園行事ということなら。
私も行きました。小等部の時の遠足で。けど、そんなに汚くはなかったですよ。
ほう。
There's only a few years difference between Hibiki's hike and the one Nagi and Fukami are talking about. She's the daughter of a brewer, and she likes to clean. It's impossible for Hibiki to just ignore dirtiness. Then there can only be one conclusion. The Jutusan coal mine is deteriorating rapidly.
遠いのは遠かったです。小等部だったのもあるけど、3時間くらい入り口までかかりました。
どこからだ？
それは術戦炭鉱の廃駅前からです。遠足の時だけは臨時停車することになってて。
私も線路跡とかそういうのは気づきませんでした。街がすごいなって、それが一番の印象です。
街？
術戦炭鉱のあたりには宿舎がいっぱい建っとったんよ。さぞや栄えとったんろうね。
Makoto gives a helping hand.
枕姉も遠足で？
うん。その頃にはもうゴーストタウン。大きな建物に木が食い込むようになっとって。
そうなの、街が森に飲まれるみたいで。に後でスケッチブック見せてあげるばい。
うん、頼む。
If Hibiki was moved by the sight of it, the place must have been interesting.
今は滅びてしまった町か。かつては甲府さんたちの暮らしがあった。
鉱山鉄道は甲府さんたちも運ぶのです。
Brandis says that proudly, and with a hint of nostalgia.
トロッコでやってきた石炭を貨車に積んで、甲府さんたちを乗せたキハ07で引っ張っていくんです。
トロッコ？そうか。鉱山ならトロッコもあるのか。
絶対あるですよ。レイナ、トロッコも運転してみたいのです。
確かに、あれは面白そうだな。
There should be many different kinds of kinds to boot. The kind that moves awkwardly where you push a stick. You'd think there'd be a significant number of people who'd want to try that out, like Reina.
ゴーストタウンにトロッコ。それに、鉱山そのものか。
No, hold on. Before I let my ideas get ahead of me, I had to confirm this with Makoda.
それで、枕姉は鉄道関連設備などは？
As if she were waiting for it, a big grin takes over her face.
男の子らが騒いどったね。トロッコがどうこう言うとったばい。
おお。
うちらの時にはなかったわい。そぎゃん大昔の。
Mikami grabs Nagi and covers her mouth. Uh-oh. The last time she did that, Nagi almost fucking died.
なぎちゃん、そう、大昔でってお友達に頼んでて。
Mikami, I don't think that covers anything. Makoda, still grinning, suddenly makes a bit more, looks a bit more ominous.
その、だな。
Proceed with caution. I try to change the direction of the discussion immediately.
宿舎がいっぱいというほどの規模なら、術戦炭鉱は産出量に恵まれていたのかな。
いう話よ。九州一の炭鉱とまで歌われとったとか。大昔には。
Mikami twitches in fear. Makoda giggles at the sight of that, and her smile softens to a more natural kind.
見てみて損はなかとよ。
そうか、ありがとう。聞かせてもらった話、とても参考になった。
I bowed to Makoda and everyone else. I straightened my posture, noticing Hibiki looking uncomfortable for some reason.
行くんですか兄さん、術戦炭鉱跡の調査に。
まあな、百聞は一見にしかずと言うし。
ポーレットさんも？
私も行きたいって思ってます。その方がいろいろ早いって思いますし。
だな。
Well, it's a treasure trove of knowledge. regarding governance, tourism, and railways. I've learned about pollution regarding coal as well. I think the two of us would be able to research something, somewhat well.
けど、一日仕事になっちゃいますよ。エアクラ使えないなら、ナビもフォローできませんし。そう。
ああ、そうか。
I now understand what Hibiki meant.
議会のない日にも、キハ・レイナナは走るのだったな。
We can't let the train not run. However, if we can shorten the investigation time...
そのようなこと、問題にもなりません。たやすく解決できるではないですか。
Hachiroku stands up briskly.
相鉄様、私をお使いください。
What?
あ、ずるかと86！惜しかとこだけ！私も手伝うばい！
ああ、そうか。そうすれば。
機関助手として響も仕上がりつつあります。非常ブレーキ操作程度はすぐにも覚えてくれましょう。
またすぎゃんと偉そうに。
ポーレット、どうだ？
キハ 07S でしたら、もちろん基本的にはレイナ一人で運用できます。
Are you sure about that? Because she fucking likes to sleep, just like me, but, you know, I think her job is a lot more important than a fucking streamer.
うん。問題は、アクシデントの発生時だが。
そこのフォローを、響ちゃんと86ちゃんがしてくれるなら、普段よりむしろ安全かもしれません。
Normally, Paulette and Reina form this team.
謙遜はよせ。が、そうか。そうできるなら、そうしてもらえれば非常に助かる。
レイナは大歓迎ですよ。
As long as you don't sleep on the job, alright? The last time that happened, you almost crashed into a tree that fell on the tracks. That happened during the coming route, right? Yeah.
私が言い出した話です。意などあろうはずもございません。
私も手伝う。うん、手伝う。
Hibiki's telling herself that exactly how she has ever since we were kids. And maybe forcing her to do this is the thought that crosses my mind.
響、エアクラ工場誘致云々のこともある。もしも気乗りがしないなら。
気乗りとかは大丈夫です。ちょっと責任が重いから気合い入れてただけですよ。
そうか。しかし
もかかしもないんです兄さん。
Hibiki holds up a finger to me. Just like she does when explaining her signboard drawings to the customers. Her face is ripe with confidence and pride.
私は兄さんの妹です。いいですか兄さん。妹なんですよ。
うん。
Hibiki smiles innocently, but with a hint of sadness as well.
そこまで楽しそうな兄さんのこと見ちゃったら、妹は応援するしかなくなるんです。
Yeah. Maitetsu. Oh, I never would have guessed that's what they were going to say. Funk rattle rattle. We didn't have any time today. We didn't have any time. Today was the only free day on the schedule, so we've had to wing it and had a big day. And on a big day such as this, at that. But things are going well. The train had a smooth start, and I felt no vibrations during acceleration.
制限50。
制限50。よし。
よくありません。速度制限標識を目視すらせず、大
大間返しをすることに意味がありますか？
ごめん、慌てちゃって。
慌てる必要などありません。今なすべきはひたすらに前方注視のみです。
God damn it, Hibiki. Where's all the training in your route? It's almost like you forgot all about it. Not being used to the driver's stand of Kiha 7, she's now not the engineer, nor the engineer assistant, but the driver. She only needs to follow Hachidoku's instructions, but Hibiki is obviously nervous, and I don't blame her.
制限解除よし。
制限解除よし。
そう、その調子です。
She fixed it in one shot. I knew Hibiki could do it. She has the careful eye of an artist. As long as she remains calm, she'll never miss any signs. Why did you moan? What? A sound that seems to release all tension. The source of that is Paulette, who's sitting next to me.
一安心か。
I hate that he says that after I called her gasp and moan.
いいえ。
Or sigh, I guess. In the next instant, her voice becomes tense again.
安心なんてできません。安心は常に事故のもとです。
Yeah, like the one where you almost crashed into a tree. After Nagi chopped it down and it fell on the tracks. The regular driver is not on duty and will be stopping at the closed Jujutsen. I almost said Jujutsu. Jujutsen coal mine that normally is passed by. Like me, Paulette must have kept her eyes fixated on the driver's stand. But this isn't good. If she gets this tense right now, and loses her concentration during the investigation, it'll all be for naught. I'll have to find some way to reduce her worries, and... Oh, that's right.
ポーレット、できれば響に術戦炭鉱駅への臨時停車の手本を見せてやってはくれぬか。
でも練習機会この1回しかないんですよ。
That's a sharp observation. After this provincially scheduled train for the early morning, the next one will be the regular morning commute. As an opportunity to practice, this is actually the one and only chance.
私からもお願いします。
けど、
Hibiki's voice sounds off from the driver's stand as she maintains her view from the front. I knew this would happen, but Paulette still had a troubled look.
ポーレット、どうか手本を示してやってくれないか。なんとなれば、響は何を学ぼうとするときであれ。
A convinced sigh comes from the driver's stand.
響の場合は目で見て覚える方が早いですか？
その通りだ。
Despite knowing each other less than 2 months. Despite knowing each other for less than 2 months, Hachidoku has already realized that Hibiki's ability to learn is most honed when she watches and emulates another.
響がブレーキを操作する機会など、無論なければないに越したことはない。
But what if Rain is slow down? With her sleeping comes when Paulette is not there.
が、一度でもここで見ておけば、非常時の指示に対する響の理解が深くなる。
Hibiki nods. Although we can only see her back, I know that for sure.
そうあれば、定時の湯の井、お人よへの停車も、僕らを拾う夕方の臨時停車も、安全度はより高まろ
う。まさにこの1回しかないのです。響がポーレット様を見て学ぶ機会は。
わかりました。そういうことなら。
Paulette quietly stands up and walks over to the driver's stand.
まず、蒸気機関車の逆転機に相当するものが、このシフトレバーだと思ってください。
When I look at it again, the driver's stand is very different from that of 8620. I didn't even know which one is the equivalent of the automatic and independent brake valves.
ギアを切り替えるときは、運転台下、このクラッチペダルを踏みます。
Paulette moves her leg and manipulates the shift lever with her right hand.
シフトを全身に入れました。これでクラッチをつなげば、もう立行が始まります。
Ah, she's in her element. This is what an experienced professional looks like. When Paulette stands, the side view of her face is beautiful in that it's nearly unworldly. She has a commanding presence, but she also leaves a flexible, agile impression.
基本、レイナが処理落ちしたとしても、86ちゃんの指示通りで全く問題ありません。
Hachiroku nods in a not-so-subtle way. I can see Hibiki's shoulders move as she breathes a sigh of relief.
けれど、ものすごく低い確率で、響ちゃんが自分の判断でブレーキをかけるケースもありえます。
That's true. We hadn't considered that at all. There's always a slight possibility that Reina could slow down and Hachiroku could be caught in some accident at the same time.
そういう時は、迷わず、慌てず、こうしてください。
ほう。
She returns the handle, resembling the notch, and cuts the clutch to shift off. She then applies the brake handle. The pressure applied to the brakes will gradually slow down the train, eventually bringing it to a complete stop.
なんでここ駅でも廃駅でもなんでもないのに。
非常時にはこれをやればいいというお手本です。
Hachiroku's tone of voice shows she's impressed to no end.
私たちが乗っている以上、8620は走行しない。この全線が、キハ07の閉塞、占有区間となるのですから。
停止をしたら、手ブレーキもかけてください。
Paulette's hand starts spinning a metal ring that looks like a steering wheel.
これで安全に停車できてますから、電話で早瀬さん、もしくは枕さんに救援を求めてください。
Hayase refers to Fukami's grandfather, Seki, naturally. He can bring out a gasoline automobile, and Makoto can probably think of the best way to deal with whatever situation.
でも電波の届かないところだったら？
よほどの悪天候でもない限り、湯ノ井線沿線で電波が通じないのは、術線炭鉱廃駅付近だけです。
Today the weather's nice and sunny. Through the window, I don't see a single cloud in the sky. There may be some sudden evening showers, but there shouldn't be any major changes in weather over just a few hours' time.
つまりその場合、術線炭鉱廃駅付近での非常停車時には、響が廃駅まで歩けばいいだけの話になるのか。
はい、そこで待って、戻ってくる私たちと合流すれば、私の運転でお人よ駅まで持っていけますから。
Each and every statement by Paulette unravels her worries. with every nod that Hibiki gives. Her expression lightens up, though.
わかった。わかりました。
If there's serious trouble, just stop. That way, you can secure your own safety. That direction is as clear as day. Hibiki, who's been tense, finally relaxes.
なら、お手本はこれでおしまいで大丈夫？
はい。ありがとうございました。
どういたしまして。
With a light smile, Paulette lets go of the numerous handles. Hibiki then goes to those handles in her place. Her tension's all gone. With just a short lesson, she's able to change Hibiki's mental state and posture. That's amazing. Hibiki can learn this well under a good teacher. The word well describes her perfectly. After confirming Reina's safety check, Hibiki holds up her hand.
出発進行。それじゃあ兄さん、ポーレットさん、気をつけて。
行ってくる。
響ちゃんも、どうか安全第一で。
はい。
She sounds off the typhoon, and drives away in the Kiha 7 after we get off.
さてと。
Considering how much of a railway enthusiast Paulette is, I'd always wondered why she expressed little interest in this closed station. I'd had those doubts for a while, but now that I've seen the situation, the station building, I know the reason.
これが術戦炭鉱廃液か。
If I had to describe it, it's unrefined, or rather, there's nothing here. There's the closed station building, but there's absolutely nothing around.
栄えてはいたのだろうがな。
Seeing that there's a closed parking lot, it must have functioned as part of the city. For a while after the station was closed, the owner of the parking lot was already some supermarket. After that closed down, the people, the cars, and everything else also left.
配線跡、やっぱりこの辺にはありませんよね。
Her blue eyes look at the tracks of the Yunoi line and begin scanning for the ground.
フル地図だと、湯ノ井線と連絡、直接乗り入れしてた可能性、結構高そうに見えたんですけど。
配線跡というのは、どのように見つけるものなのだ？
私が好きなのは、生きてる鉄道ですから、あんまりよくはわからないんですけど。
Bullet points at the Yunoi mainline tracks while saying that.
連絡してたなら、その痕跡があるかなって。でも、それっぽいものは全然です。
ならば、連絡をしていなかった場合には？
その場合は、貨車からの荷下ろしとか、コンテナの積み替えとかをするための空間と設備。
I don't see any facilities of the sort, but there's more than enough space for that. There's so much space around here that I don't even know where to start.
あとはもちろん、線路の痕跡。多分、残ってる可能性が高いのは、バラストかなって思います。
バラストか。
If we don't see it nearby, then we'll have to do some legwork. According to the ones who hiked around here, it should be nearby, we should check out the ruins of the dormitories first.
大量に使うものだしな。完全に処理するのは確かに面倒そうだ。
はい。それと、レールや枕木は再利用の価値が高いですから。
枕木？
Rails are made of iron. Of course, they're valued. They can be reused.
枕木をどう再利用するのだ？あれほど汚れてしまう木材なのに。
園芸の庭作りとかのアクセントにするんだそうです。
園芸に庭作り。
Not something I'm interested in, but I at least know that what they look like, and yet I still can't imagine it.
庭に線路でも敷くのか？
そういう人もいますよ。ミニ SL を自宅のお庭で走らせちゃうみたいな。
それは、なんともすごいな。
マイ鉄とは違う凄みですよね。車両も駅も線路も全部自分一人で作っちゃう。
You've heard of sushi train, now get ready for a garden train.
なるほど。ならば、枕木も相当に使うのか。
I feel convinced, but Paulette shakes her head.
それも多分そうですけど、でも違うんです。普通のお庭の枕木は。
うん。
そういうのじゃなくて、枕木は庭作りの資材に、敷石の代わりとか、ウッドデッキとか塀とかにするって。
ああ。うん。なんとなくイメージできてきたぞ。
I imagine cross ties lined up in an orderly fashion, used in place of pavement in a grassy garden. The rows of cross ties are buried at varying depths in order to make a fence of dead wood.
それは確かに、かなり雰囲気が良さそうだ。
ですよね。私もちょっと憧れちゃいます。
おう。ポーレットは園芸にも興味があるのか？
庭作りの方じゃなくって。
どうした？おっと。
Above the curvy slope, it appears suddenly. Damn.
これが、みんなの言っていた。
ゴーストタウン。森に飲み込まれている街ですか？
I mean, I know what you expected, considering the main, how would I say, the main financial source of income, the main source of income was abandoned, or for whatever the fuck reasons. This is amazing. It makes me realize how truly powerful plants and nature are. Even when humanity builds a grand civilization, nature can just wait patiently for the right to fight back and win. Right.
宿舎だったんですよね、ここ。
うん。
こんなにたくさんの宿舎が必要なほど、多くの人がこの炭鉱で働いていたんですよね。
But like, why is the town abandoned or whatever?
ああ。
I see. That's it. This past, these remnants, they're the reflections of Ohitoyo's future.
それほどまでの隆盛を極め。しかし、石炭需要の低減により、無人の廃墟と化してしまった。
ゼロじゃありませんよね。エアクラにだって同じことが起きる可能性。
だな。
Before aircraft, you'll use trains and gas engine automobiles to get around. But now both of those things are struggling to stay relevant.
エアクラに勝る交通手段が誕生すれば、それはいずれエアクラを駆逐していくだろう。
Look, I get Ohitoyo is like a small town, but it's crazy that we haven't seen any other like vehicles other than aircraft and trains. Like, there's not a single bus, there's not a single car. I don't even think I don't even remember a single fucking bicycle anywhere, right? Like, does everyone just walk around, and if they're not walking around, they're on a train or aircraft? Though that could be somewhere, that could be anywhere from 10 to 1,000 years from now. As long as humans continue to make technological advancements, the day will come when aircraft is irrelevant as well.
お人よにずっと暮らしている人たちは、この景色、絶対に知ってるはずなのに、どうして。
Why would they agree to bringing in the aircraft factory? She cuts herself off midway through her sentence, but I answer her question just the same.
規模があまりに大きすぎ、現実感を得られない。この光景が日常の延長にあると、とても実感できんのだ。くだらぬ言葉遊びのようになってしまうが、例えば響には、この光景はまさに絵なのだ。響が特別なわけじゃない。僕も圧倒されてしまって、エアクラ工場のことと言われるまでは重ならなかった。
そうなんですね。だからみんな。
Oops. When the message gets across to her, it leads to a new understanding for Paulette. I knew it. Paulette's a natural politician. But even so, her talents and intuition aren't currently being utilized to the fullest extent in governance, or with the railways. And this time, surely she won't retire. Yeah. Surely she'll stay mayor throughout the whole route, right? Her understanding and ability to see what's in front of her is without question. And yet, when it comes to the unknown, she struggles.
みんなとポーレットとの感じ方の違い。それこそおそらくリーダーの資質というものだ。
私そんな。
響の目はこの光景に美を見出した。ポーレットの目はこの光景に教訓を見た。
They both physically saw the same thing at the same location, but ultimately saw very different things in it. A person sees that which they're most adept at.
その教訓は他のものには見出しがたい。ならば、それこそポーレットの持つ資質なのだ。
けど、もしもそうだとしても。
An ominous glint shines deep inside of her blue eyes. I think that's the first time I've seen such a thing from her. As if to melt all that away, Paulette faces the sky.
私が見つけた教訓に、誰も耳を傾けてくれないなら。
伝わらないのは単に伝え方の問題だろう。それを一緒に改善していけばいいだけだ。
As if being struck by lightning, Paulette's eyes widen. She turns bright red, and then stares at me.
かつて響の絵によって赤は赤いと教えてもらったことがある。
When I describe my experience to her, Paulette starts nodding.
この件は直接的にエアクラ工場誘致に関わる問題だ。響が知恵を貸してくれるかはわからんが、
私頑張れます。相鉄くんが一緒なら伝え方伝わるようにどんなにだって工夫します。
うん。
Even without the full support of Hibiki, Makoto, Nagi, and Fukami full support of Hibiki, Makoto. Even without the full support of Hibiki, Makoto, Nagi and Fukami are there for us. What? If we can move Hibiki's heart with our message. Oh, right. This is Hibiki's still not on our side, I guess. The sentence makes more sense that way. If we can move Hibiki's heart with our message, I'm sure it can move everyone else.
ならば、できることからやろう。今日はカメラを持ってきているのだよな。
I don't think it's Hibiki's heart that you need to worry about, alright? Because she can be easily swayed by her big brother, Mr. Sotetsu. It's Kisaki's heart you need to sway.
はい、記録の必要があるかと思って。邪魔じゃなければ、相鉄くんの分も。
ほう。
I hadn't considered I'd be taking pictures, but I made a decision to help her, so that's what I'll do.
まるで経験がないので、簡単なものだと助かるが。
任せてください。パパ、マニアでしたから。
Bullet holds up a bag and takes out 2 cameras. One of them is a single lens reflex camera. That's what they call it, right? It looks heavy and has a bunch of levers and buttons. Levers?
なるほど。こちらの小さなものは見るからに簡単そうだな。
はい、全部自動でやってくれますから。まず電源を入れて。
Bullet stands next to me. The camera's rear display shows us. Her face is close to mine. Another inch and our cheeks are bound to touch. Don't tell Paulette she'll get flustered as all fuck.
ここに映った映像がそのまま写真になりますから、このレバーでズームしたりワイドにしたりして。
When
she talks, Paulette routinely and diligently turns to me first. Her breath is warm on the ticklish, is warm on and ticklish to my skin.
それで撮りたい画面を決めたらシャッターボタンを押してあげれば。
今のでもう撮れたのか。
はい、何千枚でもカードに記録できますから、失敗でも何でも構わずどんどん撮っちゃってください。
心得た。
I take the camera from Paulette. Our fingers touch. They are warmer than her breath.
1枚撮ってみてもいいか。
1枚と言わず何百枚でも。
とりあえずは試しの1枚でいい。
I position the camera in the monitor. Paulette's expression hardens out of surprise.
1枚って私をですか？
ダメか。対象物がはっきりしている方が良いかと思うのだが。
いいえ、30秒だけ待ってください。
She turns around, crouching down. She takes out some makeup from her bag and starts brushing her face and hair. More than 5 minutes pass. Even I'm not uncouth enough to hurry her in this situation, though.
お待たせしました。いきなり？
撮った写真はどう見るのだ？
このボタンです。
Bullet presses a button with her finger, and the display shows the photo just taken.
おお、これはすごい。小さくとも良いカメラなのだな。
Cameras most of the time are small, yes. It gracefully took a snapshot of a moving object.
これがいわゆる見返り美人というやつか。とても生き生きとして可愛らしい。
That's Riz. And it worked. Maybe I was too candid with what I was thinking. Paulette turns bright red and looks down.
写真、相鉄くん才能あるのか もですよ。ほら、響ちゃんのお兄さんなんだし。
That's true, but we're not related. Seeing as we're not blood related, it's hard to imagine that we're good at the same thing.
単に、モデルとカメラが良いだけだろう。
So with her head down, her lips quiver. My heart jumps a little, thinking I made her angry, but I figure that it's her trying to hold back a smile.
私も写真撮ってきます。
うん。
Paulette runs to who knows where.
僕も撮るか。
I just learned how to use this. And she said not to be afraid of taking bad pictures. Either way, it's a numbers game now. There was one extra click in that sentence. Alright, you should have added that one. This is somewhat desolate. When I zoom in, even the blank spots look colorful. Broken glass, curtains. There were curtains that were left behind. The eroded wooden rain shutters with ivy growing on them. There are no faces to take pictures of. I sense no warmth coming from beyond the window. It's probably better that way. This abandoned dormitory was home to many different people. Now it's merely relegated to acting as a giant tombstone of sorts.
そうですくありました。
お？
When I run over to her, my question of what exactly it is that she found seems foolish. Well, it points at the ground where there's obviously a path made made by ballast and cross ties.
これが配線跡か。
すごく状態いいですね。ここから先は、ほら、見てください。
あれが炭鉱の工場か？
It's a gentle upward slope. There's a hill, or more like a small mountain with a factory sitting atop it. It overlooks the entire region, making it seem like a fort for the coal industry.
このまま配線跡をたどっていけば、あの工場のところにつけるんだと思います。
I take a few pictures of the tracks before standing atop them. The cross ties are far from eroded. As it supports my weight, it feels sturdy.
ならば、行こう。
Paulette stops as she mindlessly follows the abandoned tracks. We have walked all the way here, but
まだ続いてますね、線路。
うん。
the tracks just keep going. The conditions so good that I want to say they're still usable.
おそらくは、坑道のすぐそばにまで続いているのではなかろうか。
トロッコの方も残ってるかもしれませんね。こっちのレール、思ったより状態はるかにいいですし。
ならば、伏線もできそうか。
この状態なら、かなり容易に予算も抑えてできるんじゃないかって思います。ただ、
Her blue eyes turn from the tracks to me.
投資するだけの価値が、この辺に残っていればの話ですけど。
うん。
It wouldn't be too far-fetched to call the scenery around the tracks a complete mess. Even inside the prefab buildings are what looks like concrete blocks holding up the mountainside.
おそらく、あの下に坑道入り口があるのだろうな。
ここからだと見えないですね。
While it's peering through the peering through some kind of camera with long dual lenses. She's using an expensive-looking telescope to survey the mountainside. I guess you could call a camera that.
あ、けど、なんだろう。扉かな。
バカ、ポーレット！
I run over and pull her back by her arms, causing her to fall on top of me. The feeling of impact hits my chest, and a sharp pain pierces my back. But it's fine. I prevented the worst case scenario of her falling into the pond.
そうですか。
大事ない。それより、ポーレットは？
私は、平気。助けてくれて、ありがとう。
I was waiting for the obligatory CG to show up, but it still hasn't.
なーに、そのために僕がいるのだ。
Once the pain in my back subsides, it's fine. I don't feel short of breath or anything. Whoops. I let go of Paulette so that she can get back up. She grabs my hand and helps me up me off the ground.
私、
大丈夫だ。
She walks forward a few paces without thinking as she tries to see what's beyond the lenses. I'm used to dealing with accidents like this.
気にするな。それほどに深くを見る目であるから、僕らには映せぬものを見出せるのだから。
A relieved sigh. But then Paula quickly fixes her posture and turns straight toward me.
そうてつくんがいてくれるから、油断しちゃってました。ありがとうだけじゃなくて、ごめんなさい。
うん。
She bows deeply. Her apology feels unnecessary, but if that Paulette's priority, then I'll accept it.
本当に助かりました。この池、もしも落ちちゃってたら。
I can't tell if the water's brown or green or both. Not exactly a pretty sight regardless. Paulette peers into the surface of the pond and starts shivering.
ちょっと、ひどいことになっちゃいそうですよね。
The color's a result of the sediments on the floor. Because the water itself is clear, it makes it all the more ominous.
これはおそらく石炭の選別に使った池だ。
選別ですか？
うん。石炭から石炭くずや炭塵を取り除くのに使ったのだろ
じゃあ、この底に溜まってるの、石炭の粉とか、そこから出てきたものなんですか？
おそらくはな。
エアクラ工場誘致の話を聞いたとき、公害について私少し勉強したんですけど。
Paulette had already done what I did. This small fact makes me happy, as well as reassured.
工業排水だけじゃなくって、鉱山から流出する水も、環境汚染、引き起こしちゃうことあるんですよね。
なあ、そう考えると、この池が野ざらしになっているのは危険かもしれんな。
って思います。大雨とか台風来たら、かき混ぜられちゃうかもしれませんし。
うん。
No matter how we decide to end up reusing this place, well, even before that, we can't leave pollutants as is.
坑道内部の調査にその視点も加える必要がありそうだな。
ですね。
This time, Paulette plants her feet on the ground prior to taking a few photographs.
行ってみましょう、相鉄くん。
うん。
Just as I thought, below the concrete wall is a large shutter. And next to is a tiny door. Fortunately, it isn't locked.
入るぞ。ヘッドライトはつけたか？
はい、大丈夫です、相鉄くん。
Is it CG time? Never mind. I'm still waiting for it.
これは、資材も設備も丸ごと放棄していったのか。
Inside the tunnel is a much more modern site. Electrical lines and countless pipes go about, and there's also something large rolled up in cloth.
なんだ、油が染みているのか。くそ、ベタベタと。
すごい。
Underneath the oily sheet is a large construction machine. One after another. Below that is a switchboard without a single speck of rust.
よそでの使い道がなかったからですかね。炭鉱、次々に閉鎖されていった状況だったでしょうから。
ああ、なるほどな。
If the industry of coal mining is going away, it'd be impossible to sell off this equipment. I hadn't imagined that an operation this big could come to an end, sensing that I'd touched the tip of it caused me to shiver.
けど、これだけ設備が残ってるなら、もし、この設備がまだ生きてるなら。
ああ、観光資源とできるかもしれん。
Yeah. It's the same with the abandoned dormitories, but the scenery has a powerful impact. If we can bring out the charm of coal mining from this... No, that's not right.
例えばだ、ポーレット。
はい、何ですか、相鉄くん。
8620でここまで、あるいは術戦炭鉱廃液まで来て、ここで石炭を体験採掘してもらう。
She understands instantly. Paulette's face lights up with a smile brighter than her headlight. Singular.
面白いです、それ。自分で掘った石炭で SL を動かせるとか。
だよな。これはなんというかロマンがある。鉄道好きではない層にも楽しんでもらえるはずだ。
そうですよね。けど、炭鉱まで本格的に調査復興するんなら、お人よ鉄道だけじゃちょっと。
The most unrealistic part of the scene is that they're in this big ass room and there's no echo.
なあ、予算的に苦しいか。
はい。ですから、何かもう一押しのアイディアで、市の事業とかとも絡められる、と。くしゃ！
大丈夫か、ポーレット。
The moment I hear her sneeze, I feel a slight shiver. As well. The temperature in the mine is quite cool. On top of that, water's dripping everywhere. Yeah, I can see that from the text box. Yeah, text box. After slaving I go, and good wishes I wish. Thank you, meow.
ひとまずは外に出よ
ああ、はい。相鉄くん、ごめんなさい。
I want to take Paulette somewhere sunny, so we go back to near the sedimentation pool.
う。何に使うにせよ。あの水はなんとかせねばな。
ですね。足元もぬかるんでるし、天井からもずっとポタポタポタポタって。
大丈夫か？随分と濡れてしまっているか。
あ、はい。炭鉱の中は少し肌寒かったですけど。
Paulette suddenly hugs herself with both arms and hides by twisting her body away from me. It takes me a second, but I realize why she just did that. Yeah, I realized why she did that too. Because she got wet, her clothes are damp and transparent. Because of course they are. What? I already saw Paulette's skin when we were in Tororo Hot Springs. I see the lines of her bra and as her clothes stick to her back. I have to wonder what there is to be embarrassed about. But when she acts embarrassed like that, it makes me feel the same.
ポーレット、これを。
Yeah, it's crazy that she's embarrassed by this, but they've literally seen each other naked. Well, I guess not, technically, because it's in the all ages version, they're all in towels. My shirt is a little wet too. I take it off, wring it dry, and then flap it in the wind.
嫌でなければ羽織ってくれ。
嫌なんて、そんなことあるはずありません。
There it is. Finally, a CG. She takes it and wears it on her back. At that moment, Paulette closes her eyes as if comforted.
なんか、あったかいです。相鉄くんの匂い、するみたいで。
Yeah, it's turning her on. I mean...
そうか。温まるのであればよかった。
Considering the temperature and sunshine, I'm sure it'll warm up soon. But then Paulette's clothes should be dry. By then, Paulette's clothes should be dry. Even with 2 layers, I can still see through. Even because... Perhaps because her eyes are closed, Paulette doesn't notice. But I can faintly see the light pink color of her bra.
相鉄くん？
Uh-oh.
なあ、いや、あれだ。
It's not my intention, but I steal a few glances anyway. I keep talking, though, in an effort to mitigate the resulting feelings of embarrassment. From both of you, yeah.
思っただけだ。その、溢れた水での環境汚染や、そうだ、落盤や爆発の危険もあるかと。
はい、そうですね。
Paulette's expression becomes one of seriousness. Feeling relieved at the change in atmosphere, words come out of my mouth more smoothly. Look, Sotetsu at least understands that just pointing out something will just make them more embarrassed than if they didn't know about it, right? Just don't tell Paulette that you can see through the 2 layers of white shirt, alright?
資源とできれば何よりだが、できなかった場合には、この廃鉱山、お人よに随分な迷惑を。
違います、相鉄くん。
Very quietly but firmly, Paulette stops me.
山も、水も、石炭も、迷惑なんてかけません。ずっと昔からここにあって、あり続けてるだけ。
My heart jumps. Much more harshly, much more passionately than when I saw through her clothes. You sure?
迷惑なものにされたんです。掘り出され、放置されて。それは、鉱山の責任じゃない。
ああ、そうだ。責任は、そうさせた側にある。
The flash of a distant memory causes my voice to quiver.
悪いのは、間違えるのはいつだって人間だ。
はい。
Paulette gives a faint smile, knowing that her message got through to me. Her smile also resembles something from long ago, a smile that sits deep inside my memory. I want to find out. I want to ask. My jumping heart yearns for it. But right now, my mind's in a state of confusion. it's in no state to ask such an important question.
ともかくだ。
はい。
That's why I ring out the following. I suppress all of my emotions as the words slip out.
ともかく、一度持ち帰ろう。
ですね。環境防護のためにも、どうしていくか、もっと多くのアイディアが必要です。
Paulette takes a step ahead, but then turns around to face me.
なら、戻りましょう、相鉄くん。
And the first thing Hibiki will ask is, why is Sotetsu shirtless? What the fuck? I don't care if it's top priority and I don't care if its top priority is my life. Already off to a bad start. I just wish it'd stop flying overhead non-stop. Oh, it's talking about the Navi. Navi was the one who saved me and continues to do so. I know that full well, but
こんな日くらい一人にさせてほしいのに。
the railway is already closed down. That's why I've been able to live in peace here. One of the mayoral candidates said he'd bring back the Yunoi line as a municipal train. I firmly believed that no one would take that candidate seriously.
なのに、まさか当選して、鉄道が本当に復活するとか。
Yeah, and that mayor is Paulette's dad. Or granddad, I don't remember. Because aircraft can't operate near the coal mines, everyone was forced to take the long way around. I heard that was what led to the demand of reviving the railways.
なんだ、遠回りぐらい。便利になれすぎるから、少しの不便も我慢できなくなるんだ。
Yeah? Look, humans are simple beings, alright? We crave for simplicity and convenience. Like, I don't know why you point... you're not cool for pointing out a basic human instinct, alright? I genuinely hate that sort of laziness, and I hate the extreme decision to revive the railway. I feel crushed under that hatred. In fact, I can hardly breathe. I'm so angry. Bro, shut the fuck up. You're just angry because you're just angry at everything because you killed your fucking sister. Never mind.
死んだ者は生き返らない。それすら公平じゃないっていうのか。
I forced Michiko into an early grave, so if that also kills the railways, it's only fair. And yet,
なんで鉄道だけが。
because it wasn't the railway's fault your parents are dead, alright? It's your fault! It's your... Never mind. I hear a sound. My body shakes and my vision turns red. A crushing feeling on my chest. The smell of blood. Sound of twisting metal. The feeling of lifeless texture. Everything starts to crawl up my leg. No, I can't. Michiko pushed me away. Even though she knew it would pull us apart, she let me escape from the accident. Edo told me that because I couldn't save Michiko, saving another can be my atonement. That's how I understood it anyway, which is the reason why I can still shamelessly live like this. And yet, it makes me think. However, the moment I think like that is the moment it all refuses to leave my mind. If I let myself be consumed with it. Michiko is dead. I forced her to die. I should be the one who's dead. The railways should die. If an accident occurs on on the day of its revival, I can make things fair and end it all. Excuse me? Listen, alright? The railways didn't do anything wrong, alright? There's a reason no one else died. Other than your fucking family. That's right. I can do this. At the very least, I can end everything within me. But that means what Michiko did would go to waste. I know. But it still hurts and is suffocating. I can't shake this away, no matter what. If I can be released from this smell of blood and sounds of twisting metal.
危ない近い
I was waiting for young Paulette. I feel the edge of my jacket being pulled. I turn around by reflex, and in the moment, wind pressure, I lose my balance and almost fall over. Must have sensed the danger. My body reacted on its own.
あ、すまん。
She must be surprised by my jumping on her so suddenly. I panic at what seems like a scream and quickly back off.
驚かせるつもりは。
I'm captivated by her sight. Her blonde hair dancing in the wind as it passes by us. Her eyes blue clearer than the Kuma River and even Ohitoyo's sky.
大丈夫わかってるマサあなた私助けたかばうした
まあ、そうかな。
No, that's not true. I was the one who was saved. In that moment, if this girl hadn't caught me,
私ありがとうあなた
いや、僕の方こそ。ん？
she bowed slightly, the golden hair wavering. Ah, so she's...
鉄道の写真を撮りに来たのか。
そうここ撮影いい場所行ったパパが私違う写真うまいけど頼まれた
そうか。父親に頼まれて撮りに来たのか。
That means her father must be a railway enthusiast. He must want photos of Unoi Line's revival, but couldn't come because of work or something, and instead asked his daughter.
すまん。僕のせいでシャッターチャンスを逃させてしまったな。
She nods as if she realized something. As if she's just realized it.
あなた危ないだったなぜなら線路たくさん近い
ああ、そうだよな。すまなかった。
This time I bow deeply. A nervous and troubled voice, a sort of voice, passes over my head.
好き鉄道わかる近く見たい気持ち
いや、僕は鉄道好きなのではない。
A blank stare. Her innocent eyes remind me of Michiko. When I think that, I can't stop myself.
むしろ、憎んでいる。憎んで、恨んで、終わらせたいとさえ思っている。
Cool story, bro. You're just projecting.
うーん
Her blue eyes are still wide open. She furrows her brow, coming closer to me.
憎んで恨んで
ああ、すまん。
He says he hates the railways, but what he actually means is that he hates himself. And that's a video essay in the making. I'm not the one who's gonna make it though. She parrots what I said, as if they were the names of some wine. I feel the hatred leave my body. She must have been sheltered as a kid. She doesn't even know the meaning of hatred. I think she's just a foreigner, so when I noticed that, the suffocation I was feeling seems to lift.
簡単に言えば、僕は鉄道を好きではない。好きと違うということだ。
好き、違う。嫌い鉄道。
Dexter, maybe if you paid attention to this, maybe if you paid attention to the stream, you'd realize this is a flashback. So you should know it's Paulette.
ああ、そうだ。
嫌いなのに、なんで、あなた、名前、
僕か。僕は相鉄。右田相鉄。
そうてつちゃんくんそうてつくん
ああ、相鉄くんで構わん。
そうてつくん、どうして嫌い鉄道なのに見るじっと近くで
Why couldn't they keep her in that body? I don't know, maybe it's because she grew up or something. My hatred isn't going through to her. She wouldn't understand it fully anyway. Besides, I'll probably never meet this girl again. Look at Lolly Babas. Yeah, but that's clearly not what the writers wanted this character to be. That friendliness unlatches the emotions clean to my throat.
目を動かせなくなったんだ。列車ではなく、過去の事故を見てしまって。
Or artists, I guess, because the voice actor could have stayed the same, and so would the writing. I can't tell this to anyone. Not Makoto, Hibiki, not even Taito. Of the accident in the past, of the scars, I spit out the pain that comes from hatred and pain. Well, yeah, I guess Paulette's current look is more like Maya, but still, she looks so different. What the fuck? Did you forget how puberty works?
僕は鉄道事故に遭い、多くを失い、傷ついた。
All I'm saying is that you look a lot different before and after puberty. That's all. Those words are like a large book of bitterness.
事故
But this is anime. That doesn't mean that characters can't grow up. Alright? I don't know if she got the message. The confusing void inside me is filled with quiet words.
事故よくないそうてつくん怖い痛いかわいそう
Because her vocabulary is lacking, her words of comfort seep directly into me. Accidents aren't good. They hurt. They're scary. I suppose I am a sorry thing for having to go through that.
でも事故鉄道列車よくない違う嫌いになるだから違う
I want to yell at her, but I manage to suppress it. Threatening a girl like her is the worst thing I could do right now. Threatening the railways is not good either. The long hair makes her seem a lot different, I think. You know, when I saw this character online, I thought she was a separate character. Yeah, because they look completely different. What do you expect?
なぜそんなことを言う？鉄道事故で鉄道も列車も悪くないなど。
Well, if you're going to use the accident that happened to you as an example, considering that your family is the only people who died during the accident, I don't think the railway could be at fault for that. Even though I try to hold back, my expression troubles her. A sense of guilt rushes over me. What was I expecting from someone I just met?
包丁。
I guess that's a good example.
包丁？
The word seemingly comes out of nowhere, and the only thing I can think to do is mimic just a stabbing gesture to confirm that that's indeed what she said. The girl nods and uses a gesture as if to use a knife on a cutting board. She confirms it.
そうてつくん、使う包丁。事故。トントントントン。ザク。痛い。怖い。
包丁を使っていて、誤って自分の手を切って怪我をした。
I mean, true. If you cut your hand with a knife, it's not the knife's fault. You're an idiot, right?
そう。その時。
Her blue eyes stare at me. The sky that I first saw must have been this color, is the phrase that pops into my head randomly.
そうてつくん。なる？嫌い。包丁。悪い？包丁。
いや、
It's a simple question, one I already know the answer to.
そんなのは包丁の責任のはずがない。道具ではなく、使い方や手入れを間違った僕が。
And then it hits me.
はあ、そうか。
With those words comes understanding, and with that, the anger begins to dissipate.
そうなのだな。悪いのは、鉄道ではなく、列車でもない。
Correct. So why can't people apply that same that same line of thinking to AI? I don't know how I was able to transition it into AI, but like, look, I've seen so many fucking posts or videos on YouTube of people talking about how much AI slop there is on the internet, right? And it's always framed in the way that it's the AI's fault, right? It's being used as a scapegoat for their fucking point in the video. You know, if this blonde girl was the current time with that lolly body in this story and had a romance route, she would have easily become my favorite. Right. Why did you capitalize every word? What? What was the point? Either way, right? These videos are making AI out to be the reason AI slop exists, right? And like, no, the reason it exists is because the same reason why slop, every word, you mean every letter, same thing. The same reason slop existed before AI was a thing, because people used it for bad purposes. Anyway, they're part of a system. Tools. They can't do anything on their own. There is human art that is slop as well. I mean, yeah, but You know, that's not the point. I could point out how, like, as much as I want about how, like, if you want your art to be commissioned, there is a good chance that whatever art you will get from the commission could be shit. There's a good chance that you get scammed, right? They never actually deliver, right? Like, the art could be shit, or like they essentially got like stock image shit from it, right? And made like basically a collage, or like they just never deliver on the art piece. The historically art in museums are mostly slop, in my opinion. Okay, well that's because you don't understand it. Alright, you played through Amazing Grace and you still don't understand art. Disappointing.
悪いのは間違えるのはいつだって。
The real slop is the real slop is humans. Art is subjective. I mean, yeah, that's the point of art. Art is meant to be interpretive, right? If there is a definitive meaning to what it is, then, you know. AI doesn't produce slop. Humans produce slop.
相鉄様相鉄様
When we shit it out of our bowels and post it on the internet. Never mind.
そう、僕。あれ。いや、
相鉄様、何を寝ぼけてらっしゃるのですか？
He had a bad dream about how much he was. He had a bad dream about how depressed he was in the past. You know how it is. He was cringing the whole time.
なあ。
Hachidoku peers into my face. My brain slowly awakens as it starts to comprehend Hachidoku's words. Thanks for the hydrate.
僕は眠っていたのだな。
お疲れのご様子でしたので、起こしたくはなかったのですが。
何かあったのか？
はい、ポーレット様がお越しです。ご相談事があるとのことで。
ポーレットがか。
Her name perks up in my ears. My heart beating faster. I remember the dream I just had.
5分だけ待ってもらっておいてくれ。すぐに着替えて会いに行く。
相鉄くん、おはようございます。
He's properly dressed and is wearing a serious expression. Also, Dexter, delete what you just said. It's disgusting. Noticing her serious attitude, the remnant of drowsiness in my head vanish.
朝からいきなりごめんなさい。
いや、僕も会いたいと思っていた。
When I say that, Paulette turns red.
そうなんですか。
うん。
This is bad. Seeing her like this makes me embarrassed too. I want to confirm whether the girl in my dream was Paulette, but...
相談があるとの話だが。
I have Paulette speak first. In the meanwhile, I tell myself to calm down. Paulette nods once, and then closes her lips tightly.
相談っていうのは前にもちょっとお話しした相鉄くんに秘書になってもらいたいっていう件です。
Paulette says while taking out a piece of paper.
名目こそは雇用契約書になってますけど、実質お願いしてるのは守秘義務だけです。
おう。
While I'm the adopted son of the Mikita family, I'm also hired by my adoptive father even if I'm with Paulette, I can't sign any contract that'll be detrimental to my adoptive father.
確かに、要求されているのは守秘義務だけだ。その上、違反時に何の罰則も規定されていない。
I look some more and see that I can nullify the contract without any penalties to me. The payment is also blank right now, but no matter how I see it, 0 yen is more appropriate.
この契約書は詰まるところ、僕に秘書の肩書きを与えるためだけのものか。
そうなんです。けど、この契約が大きいんです。ヒアリングには絶対必要になりますから。
ヒアリング？
She nods to say yes. Paulette leans a little bit forward.
レールショップにいる私は市長ではなく、お人よ鉄道株式会社の社長ですよね。
うん。
けど、私は同時に市長でもあります。だから、レールショップにも担当の部課長を呼べますけど。
なあ、それをやってしまえば確かに、公私混同のそしりを免れることは難しくなるか。
です。だから、市長としてのヒアリングは、役所内で市長の立場で行うのが一番間違いがない。
She nods once more. When her eyes turn to me, they waver for a brief moment.
でも、私一人だと、一人より二人の方が気づけること増えると思うし。
確かにな。どれだけ役に立てるかはわからんが、僕も同席させてもらえた方がありがたい。
そうしてもらうために役職が必要なんです。当面のヒアリングは非公式なものになりますから。
ん？
公式なヒアリングである公聴会や説明会は事業計画が内定してからしか行われません。
What's the point of a public hearing then? I was thinking that, but if she tells me that's how government is, with a sad face, I have no choice but to accept it. That's how mafia works.
ですので、事前調査の類は、そのすべてが非公式なヒアリングとして扱われます。
非公式で非公開か。
She nods, yes. Paulette seems a bit sorry as she continues on.
そういう性質ですから、部外者が混じっちゃうと、踏み込んだ話、絶対にしてもらえなくなります。
ああ。
That's why I'm the special secretary. Paulette gives me the title of a secretary that she personally hired, and also makes me sign a contract of confidentiality. Not the NDA.
よかろう。僕に異論はない。その内容なら、報酬額は0円で頼めるか？
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
I sign the contract and Paulette gives a soft smile, as if she were relieved.
これなら私、頑張れます。
She nods and then stands up. Any sort of slack in her face is now gone.
善は急げじゃないですけど、ヒアリング、今日朝一でも平気ですか？
朝一というと？
お人よ市役所の朝一は午前8時30分です。
よかろう。ならばすぐに。いや、少しだけ待ってくれ。
はい。
ネクタイだ。秘書が納体では文字通り閉まらなかろう。